Have you ever noticed something strange? For months, you're stressed. You have deadlines, exams, money problems, relationship drama. And you keep telling yourself, once I solve all of this, I'll finally relax. Then one day, the deadline is finished. The exam is over. Your bank account looks better. Everything is actually okay. And somehow, you still feel anxious. Your brain immediately finds something new to worry about. A text message that sounded slightly different. A future problem that hasn't happened. A mistake you made 3 years ago. It's almost like your brain doesn't want peace. And here's the scary part. It kind of doesn't. Because your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. And those are two very different things. Thousands of years ago, this system was incredibly useful. Imagine you're a human living in the wild. If you hear a strange sound in the bushes, you assume it's dangerous. Maybe it's nothing. But maybe it's a predator. The human who worried too much survived. The human who relaxed too much became lunch. Your brain learned a simple rule. Always look for problems. The problem? You're not living in the wilderness anymore. But your brain still behaves like you are. Except now the predators are gone. So your mind starts hunting for different threats. Social threats. Career threats. Future threats. Imaginary threats. And suddenly your perfectly normal life feels like an emergency. Think about the last time everything was actually okay. No major crisis. No huge problems. No disasters. What happened? For most people, something uncomfortable appears. Boredom. Restlessness. A weird feeling that something must be wrong. And that's where the trap begins. Because your brain interprets calmness as uncertainty. And uncertainty feels dangerous. So it starts scanning. Searching. Analyzing. Looking for anything that could become a problem. It's like hiring a security guard and telling him, find threats. Even if the building is completely safe. He'll eventually convince himself that something is suspicious. That's exactly what your brain does. And modern life makes this even worse. Because today, your brain has access to infinite problems. Open social media. Within 5 minutes you'll find economic collapse, health scares, political chaos, people richer than you, people more attractive than you, people more successful than you. Your brain sees all of it as potential danger. Not because it hates you. Because it's doing its job. A job it was programmed for thousands of years ago. The problem is that the algorithm doesn't know the difference between a tiger and a stranger's vacation photo. Both trigger the same threat detection system. This is why overthinking feels productive. When you're worrying, your brain believes it's working. It believes it's preparing, protecting, preventing disaster. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most overthinking isn't problem solving. It's problem searching. There's a massive difference. Problem solving ends. Problem searching never does. Because if you solve one problem, your brain simply creates another target. It's like a fire alarm constantly testing itself. At some point, the alarm becomes the problem. And you've probably experienced this already. Maybe you wanted a certain goal. A better job. Better grades. More money. A relationship. You told yourself, once I get this, everything will be fine. Then you got it. And for a few days, you felt amazing. Then your brain adapted. The happiness faded. And suddenly a new problem appeared. A bigger goal. A bigger fear. A bigger concern. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Your brain quickly normalizes improvement. What once felt extraordinary becomes normal. Then it starts looking for the next thing that's wrong. Not because your life is bad. Because your brain has become addicted to scanning for problems. Here's where things get dangerous. Eventually you stop trusting good moments. You can be having an amazing day. And suddenly think, what if something goes wrong? You're laughing with friends. Then you remember a future deadline. You're relaxing on vacation. Then you worry about work. You're finally making progress. Then you start imagining failure. The mind interrupts happiness to prepare for imaginary danger. And most people think this is maturity. Responsibility. Being realistic. It's not. Often it's just anxiety wearing a professional disguise. So how do you break the cycle? Not by forcing positive thoughts. Not by pretending problems don't exist. Real problems still need attention. The secret is learning the difference between a problem and a thought about a problem. Most people treat both the same. That's why they stay trapped. When a thought appears, ask yourself, is this happening right now? Not tomorrow. Not next year. Not maybe. Right now. If the answer is no, your brain is probably running a simulation. And simulations don't always require action. Sometimes they only require awareness. Another powerful question is, am I solving something, or just thinking about it? That single question can destroy hours of unnecessary overthinking. Because real problem solving produces decisions. Overthinking produces loops. The same thoughts. The same fears. The same scenarios. Repeated endlessly. No progress. No solution. Just mental motion. And here's the biggest realization of all. Peace is not the absence of problems. That's impossible. There will always be another challenge. Another uncertainty. Another obstacle. Peace comes from realizing you don't have to attend every problem your brain invents. Just because your mind creates a warning doesn't mean there's a fire. Just because your brain predicts disaster doesn't mean disaster is coming. And just because your thoughts demand attention doesn't mean they deserve it. So the next time life feels calm, pay attention. Watch what your brain does. Notice how quickly it starts searching for something wrong. A future mistake. An imagined disaster. A tiny imperfection. Then remind yourself of this. Your brain evolved to detect problems. But you don't have to obey every alarm it creates. Because sometimes, the greatest skill in life isn't solving more problems. It's recognizing when there isn't one. And for many people, that might be the hardest challenge of all.